how many of you not available in the last class? What is the reason?
My health is not well.
Okay, was it fine? Okay. What about you? Sorry?
Actually, I was not there in Hyderabad.
Okay. Make sure. So we'll check the attendance also. If you are not present, we're going to take you further. Okay. Keep in your mind. It's not many drama or funny things. Okay. Where are we in the last session? Sorry?
Maps.
No. So all the collections was completed, right? So anything pending in the collection? I think list completed, set completed, map also completed. Map is not come under the collection, that is different. Okay. So these things are completed. So these are the crucial part. If you are master in the collection, like more than the things, you can tell I am interview ready for the 80%. So all the things come under the collections only. So okay, focus on that one. So let's see the like some additional features. Java released 7, after that 21 also. Okay. So in that, what they mainly focus the functional programming. So what is called as a functional programming? Any idea? What is functional programming? Yeah, what is functional programming? Any ideas? This side. Okay, so last day what we seen in the lambda expression. So what is the purpose of lambda expression? What is the advantage we are getting from that? Sorry?
Lambda is easily we can access.
Okay. Apart from that? The first one is the simple syntax. Next one is the number of codes will be reduced, and there is no more headache not needed. Like think about like last day what we see mainly that anonymous class, and after that the functional interface also we learned about, right? So in that what is our main focus? There is no need to create a one more new classes. That is not at all needed. Like if it is not needed, why have to do that? So those kind of areas what functional programming focus, like I know these basic things already, so why do you have to go with all the basic again and again? You knows already, right? Just come to the advanced. You don't need to tell these kind of things. You can eliminate this part. You can moreover work on the like what are the process you want to do. Okay, there is no work on how you are doing. That is a different. Right? You just focus on how you are going to implement that thing. Simple. That is a major purpose functional programming. Okay. So let's see the few more things from that things. Okay. So lambda function is one of that functional programming only. So after that, like Now I just created the one class. Okay. So let's think about some real world scenarios. How the real world things will be, project structure will be there. Let me do that. You guys also will be get the idea. Okay. So create one folder. So here I just created the user management folder. Apart from that, nothing else. Okay. So if you are doing any Spring Boot project, how the flow going to be? There is a multiple patterns. Okay. Like how you are following your code more cleaner. That is too important. Let's assume like for backend for DB access. Okay. We have definitely we have the database. Until now we are not go through those things. We will come to that part. Okay. Let us assume I have one database. So in the database, you have to access the data from the database. What you want to do? You have to write the query, SQL query. Right? Apart from that, any other ways? Apart from SQL queries, can I able to take the data from the database? Is it possible first of all?
No.
The answer is no. Apart from the query, you can't do nothing. But we are only knows the Java. But why do we know focus on the SQL also? That is also too important part. If you are the developer, you must be aware of the all the things like SQL and other things also. You guys must focus on that one. But let's think about why do you have to focus on all the place instead of I can do the coding. So that time only ORM come to the picture. ORM is nothing but that is one of the tool. Like you can written the code in the Java. You can convert the Java code to SQL query. Then you fetch the data from the database. It given to you. Simple. Now you got the database. That means like from one table you got the one record. Assume one user record you got now from the database. Okay. Now there is a multiple problems also will be there. You can't directly return this user table to other places. That means like let's do that one. So this is called as a repository pattern. So repository pattern is nothing but you guys going to segregate the codes. Okay, let us assume for receiving the request from the server that all the codes available on particular folder. Okay, next business logic. That is a hard part, right? So if your request was received, next if that request received from the user, business logic only tell what is the purpose, what I am going to do next with that request. Simple. Apart from that, nothing else. That is called as a business logic. Like I want to call this record first, then I have to do some validation. So everything come under the business logic. That is come under the service layer. Okay. Then that was the next. I have to put the data to database. Those all the things come under the repository. Okay. So these called as a design patterns. Nothing else. What is design pattern, right? Let me tell the issues, then I will come to this part. What is the purpose of the design pattern and other things. Okay, until now Java basic things completed, moreover advanced also closed. Okay, so these are the core and advanced concept closed. Now let's understand system design and some patterns. So what is the purpose of system design and patterns? Like these patterns and things already they defined. Okay, what is the purpose of those? We have some common problems in the development. Like let's take an example, like a real world example. I have one database. Okay, I have to take the data from the database and I have to give it to record to the user. That is my work. In the middle of operation, after you fetch the data, after you got the data from the DB, in the middle you are transferring to the user. In the meantime, in between data won't be changed. That we have to assume. Okay. So what is the one solution. So this is the first issue. Okay. In the middle, if it is changed, it will be entirely messy our database. That is the first issue. Next issue. Okay. Now I told there is a multiple ORM was there. Okay. Let's take some ORM tools. Like anyone knows some ORM tool here? Okay, Hibernate is one of the ORM tool for the mainly database. Okay, let's take that also one of the framework also. That is mainly used for the database queries and other things. Okay. Now I written my all the project code in the Hibernate. Every tool, every packages we are using, definitely it come with the pros and cons. Definitely there is advantage, definitely there is a disadvantage. While you are initially using, you are focused on the 100 users. So you used Hibernate, you completed your application now. That was done. Okay. What is the next thing? Now you are going to increase your user base 100 to 1000. That time Hibernate query was not doing that much perform. For example, I am telling it was not doing that much. What my expectation? Then what we can do? We have to change that ORM tool. Which one is come under my expectation? Which one is satisfying my expectation? That is the things I am going to do, right? But that is not that much easy. Can anyone tell why Java still alive? There is a multiple language came. Why still Java alive?
Security.
But the language can
Sorry?
be security.
Security? More than this security, other languages also there. Fast also there apart from Java. What is the purpose? What is the main reason? There is a multiple things now. Nowadays only they launched all the features and other things. But it is a legacy language. Why is still alive?
Because it is flexible.
We can't use any AI in the Java. If you want to go with use any AI, nowadays they upgrade. But mainly if you want to go to AI and ML thing, Python will be too better. Nowadays the AI changing everything, right? Then still why the company stick with the Java? There is a two reason. All the legacy application, most of the application, around 80% application done in Java. If they want to move, if they planned want to move to other language, that's not that much easy. They want to change their code base, they want to transfer their codes to another language, that's not easy. They need a time, they need a resource, they need to spend millions of dollars. That is the first reason. Next reason may be that flexibility, multiple things will be there. Now let's take example like Microsoft. Microsoft, most of the things built in Java, it assume like that. Okay, now if they want to move their entire code base to another language, that is not that much easy. We can tell this is like just a 12 lines of code, we can easily change. But there it won't be. That is an entire multiple project will be there. So if you want to change, they need to spend time and they have to spend money, they have to spend the resources also. For resources also they have to give salary. So these are the all constraints, still Java was alive. That is a legacy. If you even they want to transfer to other languages also, they can't. So that is a major reason. Apart from that, other benefits also there. Okay, so this is the things. Okay, let's say back to our concept. Now Hibernate was there. It not satisfying my user base. Okay, why? Because like once you complete the application, what is the process? Let me tell. Okay, once you complete the application, you have to do the testing. Once the testing was done, you guys will do the regression testing, end-to-end testing. That's multiple smoke testing, multiple kind of testing was there. After that, they will do the only one testing, load testing. What is the purpose of load testing? How much user it can able to handle, okay, at a time or something else like that. If it is handled only 100 people, then what they will do? We are the developers only, right? Now let's think about how they going to solve those kind of problems. These are the real world interview questions. How they going to solve the question? How they going to solve these issues? First, they have to find where is the issue. So that is called as a bottleneck. So bottleneck is nothing but how the bottleneck was. Here it was broader. It's come to at the end it was smaller. That is a bottleneck. So that means until this stage your application perform well. If it is come to this neck, it was reduced. So somewhere some issues was there. So that's why that's called as a bottleneck. Each and every keyword there is a meaning will be there. I told initially the keywords will be meaning, right? Bottleneck also same. It's called as the same bottleneck only. They used this word. Okay. So nothing but it's reduced the performance. Okay, fine. Now the performance was reduced. Then they have to find the solution. They have to fix it. That is the flow. Okay, fine. Now my solution is my Hibernate, my framework, my ORM must need to change. What we need to do? Have to change my entire code. Let's assume you didn't keep your code as a clean. That means like you mixed up your business logic, database accessing, everything you mixed, like everything you mixed in a single file. If you want to change database related thing, you have to change all the files. Instead of if you segregated the data related fetching to the one separate file, you have to just change those files only. There is no need to touch the business logic. Business logic is not that much easy to if you are editing. If you edit one place, multiple places will be affected. Okay, AI can't do those kind of things. AI definitely can't do. Okay, if it is editing, if you are, it's so only focus on current requirement should be working properly. That's it. Existing broken, that won't care about. Okay. Now back to that topic. Okay. In the service layer only, like in the business logic only, you mixed up all the things. If you want to change your code, let's think about how burden is it. So that's why we have to keep these kind of issues will be there, right? To solving these kind of issues, we have the system design. So like in the interview also, the stage will be there. The second or third stage mainly focus on, they will give some application requirement. You have to do the system design. How the my system going to be work, begin the scene, how is the catching going to be work, everything have to focus. Okay, fine. So this time if you want to change that Hibernate to another tool, you can easily change. Why? Because you segregated your entire database related things to separate file. What business logic layer only knows, this is the type of data only I am going to receive. I am not going to receive that table. A table object I am never going to receive. I am going to receive this data. That's it. I am going to receive username, password. Apart from that, I don't need nothing. There is no dependency. There is a loosely coupled. Okay. So that is a major purpose. Okay. Now let's back to our concept. Here also we are going to use the classes for that. Okay. Now you are using these classes only for the one of the holder, like a record holder. That assume like let me tell the flow. From here onwards, like a few sessions will be bit theory part. Why I am telling, these are the system design. You have to understand that. Okay. Well, we'll implement that one. So here, what are the layers? This could be your business logic. Okay, that is your service layer. The next one is your database, like that is called as a repo. We can keep it now. Okay, this is your repo layer. Next one is your database. Okay, fine. So now, if you want to change anything in the DB related or tools you want to change, you have to change only the repo layer. Okay, the service layer always dependent on the data only. There is no dependency between the what are the tools you use. There is no care about. Okay, now here you are returning some data. That assume you are just returning the user kind of data. Okay, fine. So if you are using this is only for the holder of the your data. Apart from that, nothing else, right? You just receive your data, some particular object. After that they process it. Why this is important? Don't keep your data as a table object. That means you are like you are take one example. We have one user table. Okay, you are fetching that record from the database, that user table. Don't keep that object for all the places. Once this layer was closed, this repo in that data is out of this repo layer, make sure it won't be that table object anymore. Because if you keep that data as a table object, there is a possibility you can edit the data. Okay, so what you have to do, from the table object to from the table object to, you have to convert as a class, object. So what is the purpose of that class? Just contain your data. Apart from that, nothing else. So if you want to keep those things, what are the default things we have to do in the class? Like some default function we have to do, and some other like a constructor you want to do, right? Those kind of things you must to do. Like how to mention this constructor, right? So these things we have to done by ourselves, because this is a parameter constructor that won't be available. We have to do by our own. Whenever if you are going to assign any data into your user. But let's assume Java introduced the one feature that is called as a record class. So what is mean by the record class? So you can use like this. You can simply keep your class as a record. So record is nothing but, like, let's think about, in your database you have the one row, right? That one row is here is considered as a record. So here also, like those constructor, everything available inside. So there is no need to specifically how to specify the parameter construct. I am going to receive like a 10 parameters. There is no need to do your manual if you just use this record class. Okay. So this is the syntax for you want to keep anything in the record. Okay. Is that any doubt until now? We go through the issues. What are the real world issues? What is the purpose of system design? Like what is the patterns if you used in the project? What is the benefit we are going to get there? Okay, that is the first issue. Like if your ORM is going to good, what do you expect? You want to change your entire ORM, that is not that much easy. But if you kept your code, that data DB access code is a different file, that will be too easy. You have to change only those files, right? Fine. So this is the one thing. Okay. Okay. That how the things was working, you guys just play around. Okay. So let me move the next one. Right. we already know the inheritance, right? Let's play with that. Let's take on parent class as a computer. Okay. Let me create some child class as a laptop extension. So this is a simple constructor, right? So this Java 8 feature, 18 and 21 feature, they gave a lot of things. Okay, there is a few controls also you have, like you can control your classes. Whoever want to, like you created one class. Let's assume like for security, don't keep like this. Like else password. Okay. This must change that. Yeah. Public boarding password. I kept on class. Okay. Now there is a possibility. You are not only the programmer or developer working in that project, right? But like at this time, if anyone want to extend this password checker class, they can able to access. They can able to override your default method. Let's assume, like you are strictly you are telling. So whenever if it is length greater than 7 only, you are telling us this password will be acceptable. Let's assume class. One more like or else we can do like this. Okay. Here what can I do directly? He didn't check anything, directly return true. Okay. This is possible, right? So I can't control my class like initially you worked on that on particular requirement on functionality. Okay. In the future, some other guy is going to work on the same thing. What will happen if you didn't specify my class is to security related purpose? I won't allow you to extend. Like that means you can't inherit my class. That also you have to define. How can we define? So that time they introduce one more keyword is called as a seed. Okay. If I am sealed my class, can I able yeah, let me this time work another code that will be better. Like create a big so this one not need anymore. Somebody know. What is my actual initially? What is my condition for the password length? Sir, it should be 8 or greater than 8. Okay. Let me run my code. Now see, but here can you see? I'm just passing password as only 5 characters, nothing else, right? Yeah, compilation successful. Let me run that code. Now I got the output true. So that means your effort and your security, everything I can easily breach. So this is the breach will happen able to within developers. Like let's assume you are all the guys working in the same project. Okay. Let's take Sai data one thing as a well structured security purpose on class. Now Amir change that code. What is the purpose? Okay. So that means he did some security. Now another guy has changed that code. I didn't give any like intimation also I didn't give to him. Like this is the some info. You can't edit this class. I won't allow for you this inherit the class, right? So these kind of scenarios, like you can initially break, okay, using sealed keyword. Like if you sealed your class, no one can't access. Can you check why? But I can do one more. Is this going to work? So just understand from here, Yara. Sealed. Non-sealed are final modifiers expected class. Here it should be non-sealed. Okay. It should be sealed or final modifiers needed in that class. That means that class also can't extend to other classes. But initially I need access, right? So that also possible. Like remove this one. This is not required. So here you can permit. Okay, so permit is nothing but like what are the classes if anyone going to create. Okay, fine, I just got the access from the side, they allowed, that guy was allowed, got the approval. Okay, you can process, you can use my class from here onwards. So then only you can use. Here this permits, you can give the multiple classes, like I use comma, you can give the multiple classes. Okay, so let's run the code.
You created sealed class password checker to, I mean, for authentication purposes, right? So as to not allow any unauthorized changes in the code. So now you added permit breach password checker. So if I want to remove it, for example, since you mentioned I created a password checker class, he created breach password checker class. So if I've given him access, to give him access, I've added permits and his class. After he has done the work, to prevent him from doing any other modification, can I remove it as well?
You can do anything. If you gave the access, if I gave the access. So what is the purpose of this one? Initially you want to tell, okay, this is a high security class. So if you are doing, it's up to you. Like as in the your GitHub, you want to delete any your repository, what they did actually, you have to like you have to give that repository name in the delete section. Then only it's going to delete. That's the one prevent. Simple. Apart from that, nothing else. If you that developer have the access, he can do anything.
Yes.
But finally going to merge the code, it's not that much easy. If you can't directly push the code, there's some multiple layers will be there. That's not that much easy to change the code. Okay, the senior guys will be taken care of that. Don't be worry about that. Okay, fine. So here I am just telling. Now I permit the breach password checker to this class. I gave the permission. Okay, let us try. But still the same error was happened. Can anyone tell what is the logic is going on? The same error. But now I gave the permission, right? But still error was persist. Any guesses? I have one parent class as a password checker. Okay, next to what I did, I only permit for breach password checker class. Okay, now that after I did also they are telling some same error. What is that error? Any idea? Think. No idea?
Might be the breach password checker has to accept that.
No. It's already requested, right? Behind the scene, it was extends, right? We have to accept. This is the kind of access. Extends is called as accept here. Apart from that, okay.
We should to give permission to the breach level.
Yeah, we gave
I
it.
know.
1 minute. So let me do the one more thing. Class. Give me some name. Child class. Advanced thing. This is possible.
Yes, because that is not a sealed class.
So that means I am the guy done the code. I gave the access to this guy. This guy directly giving to him. So, but he is not restricted. So, for example purpose, I'm using. So, don't take anything. Okay. So, for example purpose, I'm taking. I created one thing. I gave the permission to only one guy. Okay. Now he gives us access to all the guys. Is it fair? He also have the restriction. He also must have the control. Right? How many guys he going to give the things. So that class also must be sealed. So this time, if anyone Sai gave the access to anyone like Stex, if he gives access to you, you can't directly access. He need a permission. Then only he can access that class. Understood? Is there any doubt? Definitely there is a confusion. If anyone have the confusion, raise the question.
So, you gave me permission,
Hmm.
but I also have to have some restrictions. So you made class breach password checker also a sealed class.
Hmm.
But advanced breach password checker need not be a sealed class because every time it needs to work, it needs to ask permission from me.
Hmm.
But how will it ask permission from me every time?
Okay, let's take
I mean, as far as the execution of the program is considered.
Understood. Fine. Okay. Now I build one class that is a password checker. It's a more security purpose. If I in the middle, if anyone directly hard coding their things, I am not allowing. If anyone want to inherit my class, I have to give the permission using permit keyword. Right? There is no doubt in that. Fine. Now one more class like a coming as a password breacher, or this is a bit confusing word. Like let's take some advanced password checker also. One more class was there. Now your old password checker, my class was like a deprecated. That means it's not no longer aligned with the system. My password checker is a too difficult kind of things. Right. Now advanced password checker, one more guy was coming. Let's assume the guy. One more guy also coming. I want to inherit from your class. But what I did initially, I sealed my class. I did like once your election was done, what the guys do? Sealed that boxes. Simple, right? Same way, I sealed my class more secure. If anyone want to open, they need a key. I have to give the key and permit to them. Right? Okay. I gave the key. I permit to them. Now, if there is a more possibilities, anyone can beat that guy, take the key from him. So what he have to do? He created the one more key. He put a one more lock from his end. Understood? I gave one key for that lock. Already only one lock was there. If I gave the key to that guy, okay. If I take example, anyone, I gave the key to you, okay. Now, if there's more possibilities, anyone take that key from you because you don't put any lock. That is my lock. I gave the key. If you anyone take that key from you, anyone can easily open. Now let us assume you also put your own lock for that same locker. What going to happen? They need a key from you. If they need access, they need a key from them. So you have to put the lock. That is lock like in the child class also you have to put the keyword as a sealed. It's make more like a sense, simple. Apart from the nothing else. Is it clear? Any doubt?
That is okay,
Hmm.
but you are added another child class advanced breach password checker.
Mm.
But that doesn't need to be a sealed class. So
If you want to use parent class, sealed class, the child also must be sealed. That means like you take the key from me.
Entire key.
okay, so every time you
All
add
the
a class, all the
classes
classes
must
should
be sealed. Why? Because if you are not sealed, you don't put any your own lock, they can easily take over. Because already my box was open, my class was open, I gave the permission to you, my box was open. There is no security, right? So what you have to do, you have to seal one more things from your end. You have to do one more key. If anyone want to access that class, have to get the access.
Permission.
If any issues happen, I will ask you only.
Yes.
You can't tell I didn't put any lock, right? You have to do.
Yes.
That's it.
That's still showing that.
Because the lacks of permit, lacks no type. Sealed glass must have a sealed glass permits fine. Making this glass so fine.
So since you are already permitted from password checker, you still need extends password checker.
So this is why you are just giving what are the things I am just allowing. Apart from that, nothing else. Showing. So this time they are doing must be same. Okay, same my class. Fine. Okay, for this one I will check. Okay, I explain. I don't know where is the issue has happened. Okay. So this one explain, but the sealed glass work like that way only. Okay, so I will explain this one, not an issue. Maybe any compilation issue, I'm not sure. Okay, I will check it out. Okay, so until now, is that any doubt? Is that any doubt until now? Is it clear? Okay, so if you guys don't have the doubt, let me give the one assignment. Okay, it's not I'm not going to give the assignment from today's sessions. Okay, so today's sessions, most of the thing, how we are optimizing our code, how the real world implementation, right? So we already played the most of the things in the collection. Now you guys just create your own custom collection. You know how to create the class, right? You know how to collection was working behind the scene. Like let's take a array list. You guys just try to create a one custom array list. Simple. So that is your assignment. You bring with tomorrow. Let's see everything. Okay. Sorry. You're asking.
Sir, when you say customer address, and what is the output that you want?
Can you please explain brief?
Okay, fine. Now what array list will do? It just dynamically allocate some value, initial capacity. Once you reach that capacity, it will increase from the 50% from the existing capacity. That is the rule, right? You try to create as a one custom array list. Simple.
Okay, you want us to.
Same array list, how it is working. The same structure I want to work your custom array list. Let's take everyone create your own name. Like Muttarasu array list, some Muttu array list, something like that. You keep your name and create a own collection, custom collection. It should work like a same array list. What are the functionalities available? It should work. Understood? Is there any doubt?
So you want us, our name should fill the array list.
You have to create a own collection, array list collection.
Hmm.
Array list is one of the class, right?
Hmm.
From that collection, so collection is the only interface. From that, we are implemented the own array list. Now you just create your own array list. You have to define. Initially, you are using that array list. You can able to store all the values, right?
Okay, you want us to create a class,
Custom array
a
list.
custom array list.
Okay. So how many of you completed last day assignment? I gave the one assignment a map, right? Map and store the value as a class object. How many of you tried first of all? You didn't try? Why? You don't have a system or what? Why? Then what is the purpose of the coming the sessions? What is the reason? This is not anything, right? Like definitely like maybe this week or next week started, we are going to eliminate. Like who are not doing further, not doing well, we are just eliminating those guys. We'll move down further those guys to up. Next step. So if you are not doing the things, everything I am noting down. So who are based on the attendance, how you are behaving in the class, how you are doing the assignments, how you are good at the things. Everything will be calculated. What is the purpose of them giving the assignment? If I gave any assignment, next day the class was empty. I mean, I am genuinely confused. What about you guys? Don't have the machine? You have or not? Yeah, then what are you doing? You? I am confused. What is going on here?